Alright, y'all see this right here? This is on the 635. That's what this is. This is a arch. This is called the arch section right here, arch cylinder. And this is the wiper seal. That's what this is right here. And it goes inside there. It's a little recessed spot, and it just sits inside there. And its only job is to clean this rod before it goes in the cylinder. That's the reason why it's called a wiper seal. What has happened is this thing has done come out of its recess right there, and the packing, you can see the oil bubbles in there. The packing is actually blowed inside that rod guide. Some people I call it a rod guide, some people call it a gland. Either one, it's the same thing. But it's got seals inside of here. I've taken several of them apart in videos before, but usually when the wiper gets shoved out like that, usually the rod is bent. And so that's what I'm trying to do right now is look at this rod and determine whether it's got a little bow in it. And then when if they bow, they will have some scuffing on them somewhere on the chrome on these things, because it'll rub on this rod guide right here while it's just going in and out. But usually, if that wiper seal comes out, that rod is bent, which I hope that's not the case right here, but it very well could be. The problem with this cylinder is right now is it's so short, the rod is on, and the way this boom is, it's hard for me to get where I can look down it to see if it is or not. I can't tell. I'm finna stop the camera where I can really look at it here. I don't think the rod is bent. And if it was bent, it's no big deal. The packing is blowed in here where those bubbles are coming out. So that's what I just talked to Derek about, was to go ahead and get the packing coming, because you can hang on, I'll climb up here where you can see. Because you can see where it's been leaking. It's oiled up all this stuff here and dripped down, and it's just a steady drip coming out of it now. So we'll get the packing for it, and we'll pack this thing this next week. That thing may have had enough pressure on it, a little bit of pressure on it, to where it pushed that wiper out. But see, the wiper, the plastic on the wiper there, that's like a nylon type of plastic. You can see it's starting to come apart right there anyhow. So what I'm gonna do is, right now, I've got brake cleaner right here, and I'm finna blast all this out, and then I'm gonna clean the wiper too. And then I got Loctite there, so I'm gonna put Loctite on it, and then I got a hammer and a punch over here, and then I'm gonna drive that thing. I'm gonna drive that seal back in there. Don't go in far, and hopefully that'll get us by till we get the packing kit for it. And we'll get Jay out here and we'll let him pack it. Let me get this can open here. All I'm doing there is just cleaning that. There's some trash that was sitting there, some bark and stuff stuck to that oil. Get it out. There's still one more piece of trash right there. It's actually stuck down in between there. That's where that thing's leaking, right there. Clean that thing out there. And spray that wiper seal. That Loctite to have something good and clean to attach to. Let it sit and let that stuff evaporate for just a second. And then I'll put the Loctite on it and I'll tap this thing back in there. Oh, and this is a Friday afternoon too, by the way. Everybody's gone but me and Kevin and Derek. We're the only ones here. Yeah, I'm finna walk over and show you some stuff we're doing on Kevin's machine there too. He's waiting on it to cool down enough where he can get on it. But I'm not gonna film this, but I'm fixing to take this Loctite and put on there, and then I'm gonna tap it back in. If that camera's set there, that'll be just right for y'all to watch me do this. I've already put the Loctite on it. And all I'm gonna do is just gently tap that thing in there, because it's real easy to bend this metal here on the outside that holds that seal. That's all it does, is hold that seal. Just gonna run it in there till it bottoms out. And you can tell when it bottoms out right there. And then I'm gonna go to a blunt chisel here. This cylinder's only about 900 degrees right now too. Every time my hand touches it, right there, it's hot. Alright, now they have time to set and set up. We're gonna go over here and check Kevin out, but you can see where I knocked it back in right there. And you ask what would happen if the rod was bent, and that's a good valid question. I would expect somebody to ask that, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer that right now. If the rod's bent, you got to replace it, and you have two options to do that. You can't straighten it because it's gonna bend right back if you do try to straighten it. So you can either order one from Tiger Cat and put in there, which is no telling what one of those would cost. I'm not sure, but they're not cheap. Or you can have one made. We have a place here in Columbus that makes those rods, and what we would do is we would take it off and take it to them, and they would take our end off of it and they would remake us a completely new rod identical to what's in there right now, and we would have a rod that was shop built. And there's a lot of hydraulic shops around that can do that, and like I said, we have one here in Columbus, and there's one over in Ackerman, Mississippi, which is west of us a little bit by about an hour, and they can handle that. They can make those rods, and usually can save you a lot of money on that. You ask, have we bent rods? We have bent a lot of rods. What causes them to bend? There's a lot of different things that can cause a rod to bend. Lots of different things. I've actually had them hit by trees and bent by trees and stuff, or just something get out of kilter on the back end, like a bushing or a pin wear more than the other and not pulling exactly the same. That can bend them too. But they're tough, but they're also awfully fragile too, so you kind of gotta be careful with them. But that should hold till we get the packing and all. And then when we pull it apart, we can put a straight edge on it, and we can sure enough check it then and see what it's doing. So we'll finish this off over here with Kevin. You're gonna replace both of these on it. This, my friends, is a seal right there that I'm touching there and there. It's a coupler type seal. There it is. And these things are not good. You pretty much have to replace these, what is it, every 6 months, Kevin? You have to replace these every 6 months because they start leaking. This one here he's working on right now, this is the return manifold that comes back to the tank. This one right here comes back around and there's a auxiliary oil cooler inside of here. for the hydraulics on the processor. It's Kevin's processor. And what it does when it goes out, it starts leaking. There's oil. I'll show you all the oil on the bottom of the machine down here. You can see the oil that's been dripping out. So we just run it till today, Friday afternoon. And Kevin pulled over here in the shade to stick these things on in here right quick. Get them in. And that's what he's doing. But my machine does not have that on mine. Mine doesn't have that kind of, they finally quit putting them on the D series. So there's a lot of John Deere Hitachi excavators that are running that kind of seal system on it. And it's not a very good seal system. That's a new one right there you putting on it, or is it?
No, that's an old one.
That's an old one. It still looks just that new, don't it? Here it all is, man. And it's got these clamps that go on it. We tried some other stuff on these things. We tried some hose on it, clamping it down back during the winter, and that didn't work too good. See, y'all see Kevin over there? That's his head right there you're looking at. You gotta be a contortionist to work on some of this stuff.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
And that's one of those things, once you put it up on, you can't really tell where you're centered or not.
No, you
You
can't.
just have to kind of guess and hope that you are.
Somebody smarter than me designed this thing. And they didn't do it too good at the job.
Nope. And then we step over and hold it.
Well, I'm just trying to get everything lined up right now. I got about 10 different things here trying to line it up.
Yeah, because then you got to put that funky looking clamp over the top of
You
it.
bite that clamp over. And sometimes that clamp is a pain, depending on if it don't want to fit or not.
You ever get one of them on there?
Yeah, I got this
Yeah.
one way too far up right here. I slid it. I slid it while ago. I slid it way too far up.
Let y'all see it there. Y'all see it right there where it connects on right there, and it goes on up under that cover. That's it. Finished. See what time it is. 5:14. Not too bad. Put everything up and we'll be ready to hit the road, man.
Yep.